Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Adjusting Success. All right, this week we got some great questions this week. We're going to go through a few of them right off the bat. And then, of course, these are recorded and saved, and you can go back to them and watch them at your own pace. And it's halftime for the Eagles. So that's great. Great timing for everything here. All right. So we're going to get going. I got some great questions. That's what I'm looking at on Facebook right now. So if you see me kind of staring off, that's what we're doing here. We're going to go through Ads Manager today. This is a great one. I've got a Facebook course on enricod.com that you guys can buy at any time. It goes through step-by-step tutorial in a 3-module program on how to set up Facebook, how to run ads, how to build campaigns, how to do that stuff. This video today is for free. I mean, we're going to go through this stuff for you right now. So give everyone a minute to kind of join in and ask questions. I got the chat open and we're ready to rock and roll. Comments. Perfect. How's audio today? We can hear me, right? I tested it. Good. That was silly last week. Thanks for chiming in right away. That was great. So I'm going to share my ads manager with my active account and go through some of these questions. So some great questions from Dr. Bulow out in Pennsylvania. What is a solid cost per click? What about conversion percentages on your landing pages, and how do you track that on a WordPress site? Or do you use a CRM? And at the end of the day, how much is too much to spend on new patients in the door from social media and online advertising? I think these are rock solid questions for sure. Some more questions that we had going on was like, do you charge for no-shows? These are important things too. So let's start with the advertising and then we'll get into the practice management stuff. I hope that's a good flow for you guys today. And I'm just going to start mumbling so we can go through all this. So, what is a solid cost per click? That's too broad of a question because we don't base our advertising off of cost per click. The cost per click rating or the cost per click metric on Ads Manager is really to show what it costs for someone to click and get to your landing page or to your destination to see whatever your offer is or wherever you're sending them to your website. So that metric I wouldn't be too worried about if it costs, $10 to get someone there or $1. It's all just it is an important metric, but I wouldn't justify that on whether you should cancel an ad or not. So I don't want to spend too much time on cost per click because it all depends on what we're doing for cost per click. So they can range. It can range, and I wouldn't use that metric to change your ads. But let's go through cost per click. Okay, so this is going to get a little berserk like that. There you go, and then you guys should be able to see me here. So here's a whole bunch of different ads. That's why I like my ads managers. I can show you different examples, like of a promotional campaign, an ads campaign, a workshop campaign, massage, lead generation, decompression, more workshops, awareness campaigns. Here's Santa. Here's just a boost post that we do here. So these things really, let's go through this one. So I'm going to highlight it for you. This is a typical new patient ad. And this one got turned off quickly. Look at that, $81 to get a lead. That's way too high. Okay, we tried it and we got almost 10 leads from that. The conversion on that one was 3 new patients that signed. Okay, so here's what I look at the end of the day: $737 to sign $5,500 in care plans. Okay, so I mean, it's a home run, folks, right? I mean, my goal is this to be a lot less, and then this to be really high. If it's converting, I'll spend $77,000. I don't care if it's really high, but the point here is that we want this to be 10 to 1. So if I made 5,500, I'd want to spend $550 on ads. I mean, a 10 to 1 is bases loaded and you hit a home run, right? So that's great. But I'll take a 4 to 1, a 5 to 1, a 6 to 1 any day of the week. So there, if we go to clicks, we see the 88 clicks. I don't know how good that is. And did you guys know about this, the plus sign to look at better metrics add other columns, look at all the stuff that you can see that are so important. Your frequency is the most important statistic to determine whether you keep your ad going or not. Cost per click, let's do that for Mr. Bulow, Dr. Bulow, Dr. Bulow. There we go. Let's just do those two so we don't get too confused. So I'm going to add 2 more columns to this. It's called frequency and cost per click. Here you go, Ian. See, $3 and $1 versus 73 cents. So it depends what we're doing. So let's get through that. And I think this is a great time for questions. And I'm sorry, I have to go like back here to see the questions. Okay, they're none. Good. Nothing yet. Perfect. So important to see the cost per click here. Okay. So this is what we're doing. We're looking at our cost per click, $3. Doesn't matter. This ad was at $700 and it created 9 leads with 3 new patients that signed for care at about $5,500. I know because we just turned it off. That's why I know the actual statistics. Great. Next question that we have. I got to go back to Facebook to look at the questions. Cost per click. I hope that answers it, Dr. Ian, because we don't want to really look at cost per click because it can bounce. Because now on the next ad, let's go to like the NDD workshop. Okay. To get somebody in a butt in the seat, it costs $77. We're working on this. We're going to try and get this better in 2024 with some new strategies and stop using Eventbrite. But that's a lot. That is a lot. Let's go to another NDD workshop. This one cost us $136 to get each butt in the seat. I mean, that's a lot. If they show up, then that's a lead. That's if they show up, right? So there you go. So that's a workshop ad. I don't know if I have any other examples of workshops. Here we go. $38 lead campaign there. We should probably talk about that one. $27 lead campaign there. Pretty good stuff, right? You say, well, Enrico, why aren't you spending thousands of dollars if it's not that? I want to there you go, $1,300. Perfect. $34 per lead, 38 leads. So there's ways to get that. So don't look at cost per click. Okay, let's go back. Let's keep going. What about conversion percentages on your landing pages? This is good. So you use a metric for this. The Facebook Pixel will actually keep track of your conversion ratios depending on who goes through. So having a pixel embedded onto your landing page is really great because then you can look at the conversion rates. Let me see if I have a landing page conversion. We did this one. This one was a landing page conversion. Let's go look at the statistics. There are your clicks. Conversion rank. Okay, so we didn't set up the pixel on this one. Yeah, because we didn't generate enough. You have to generate 250 link clicks in order to get relevant data. That's why your ads always say limited or learning. It's because to get 250 clicks, and you have to do that within the first week, and we just don't end up spending enough. That's the reason why we don't get enough clicks. Good. So that's going to come with your pixel to get better analytics on your landing page percentages. And at the end of the day, how much is too much to spend on new patients in the door for social media? Well, the 10% rule is your overall. I'm going to go back to here and just remove this for a second. Your overall rule for spending is 10% of your gross revenue. That should be your marketing budget for the year. Okay. Then you have your overhead costs and all those other things that you can line up in that pie chart to determine the percentages of gross revenue. We should always work backwards from our gross revenue. We want to see a 20% profit, right, from our business, if not more. But 20% profit is a healthy business. 18% is the magical corporate number, but 20% is a healthy business. So if it brings in $500,000, it's bringing home 100K a year. So that's a profit, the business capital profit. So that's typically, we want to work backwards. So if 20% of the pie chart is profit, then we have 10% of the pie chart is marketing, then we have 10% of the pie chart is overhead, let's say hard overhead, lease, utilities, yada yada. Then 20% of it is, the other 20% is payroll, right? Payroll, 20 to 30%, depending on what's going on. The average is about 25. So where are we at now? We're over, we're getting close to 70% there. And then all the other little things that add up for the 30% of our pie chart. So if 10% of our pie chart of gross revenue is marketing, 10%, then we have to divide that over our 12 months. So $500,000 practice has a $50,000 marketing budget for the year. They're spending about $4,000 a month in marketing. Now we have to allocate that properly to get leads through the door. And if we know what our case value average, this is so important to know our numbers. We get our case value average. That means, what does a new patient bring to the gross revenue? So a new patient that comes in for care, what's their CVA? This can be easily calculated with total gross revenue divided by new patients. You'll get a general number. That's not the best statistic, because many new patients may not sign a care plan, or many new patients may have just been a lead. So I wouldn't do that with my statistics. I'd go a little bit deeper and maybe have new leads in the office, new patients who showed, and new patients who converted. I would have 3 numbers, and then the leads is whatever. The new patients is important, patients that showed up. So that's out of all my efforts, how many people come through my doors each year, and then converted. That number will give me a more solid definition. But I need both. I need that new patient and new patient conversion number to see which one's going on. Because some people just don't sign, or some people want acute, or some people literally tell you they're here on the holidays for 2 days and they're going back to Minnesota. I mean, what are you supposed to do there? A conversion? It's not going to happen. So we need to know those numbers. Take the total gross revenue divided by your new patients. And the easiest example I give is, let's say you have a $500,000 gross revenue practice, and you get 200 new patients a year, about 250 new patients a year. That's about 20 new patients, 21 new patients a month. And your case value average is 2,000, just simple mathematics, right? Then you just divide it. 500,000 divided by 250, and then that's how you get your case value average. So you get that. It's $2,000 per person that signs care plan. Now that's going to be $1,500. $1,500 for every new patient that signs a care plan. You can spend up to $150 to acquire a new patient. So what's the best way to spend money to make sure that we acquire a new patient? And we want to beat the 150. If we know the 150 is the number, then we want to try and do better than that to try and get a new patient through the door, not a lead. So what's your number to spend for leads? That's completely different. And that's where we go through the metrics through here, and we try and convert better lead percentages and lower cost per lead. Okay. Clear as mud, right? Clear as mud. Any questions about that? Just going to pause for a little bit. So cost per lead. Go to YouTube. Is there any comments on YouTube? No. Not yet. Okay. So does that make sense? Any other questions there? Nothing there. Cost per lead. Yeah. So it's 10% is our total. Let's go back to, going to do this. Go back to the ads manager. So if we know that our practice needs $150 to acquire a new patient, this number that we see at cost per result, so it should say leads. See how you see leads here? Most of them will say leads. So this is the cost to get a lead per campaign. We do not want to be spending $150 per lead, because leads don't convert to new patients. Not all of them do, right? Some of them just fill out a form or fill up your landing page and send you your information, and then you're emailing and calling them forever to try and come in, and they don't respond, right? So even though you get a lead, doesn't mean they're going to be a new patient. So you want to be as low as possible. These are the campaigns we truly want to run, is campaigns of these reviews, landing page views. Don't get too excited about a dollar. There we go. Red light campaign. This one was fire. This campaign was just fire. But I mean, it's for red light, it's for weight loss. It's just an exciting thing. We had lots of leads from that for running for a short budget. So $20 per lead there. But the chiropractic ones, chiropractic. This event was crazy. The 24 cents per click, and we had like 1,300 registrations for that. That was nuts. $79 offer. That's landing page views. New lead generation. There you go. $21. And this one was probably for what? Chiropractic. Yeah, good. 18 leads. $21. Great. And then what we want to do here is look at see, Dr. Ian, there's your free. So at frequency, let's talk about frequency load. So cost per click, 66 cents. I mean, and I just showed you the other one that was pretty good at $3, right? So cost per click is not the best metric to look at. It's all about how is it actually functioning. Okay, tons of stuff. No, these are the best ones. So at 2, so now the frequency is, what this means is that for everyone that sees your ad, how many more times are they going to see your ad? So this means that everyone that has engaged or had an impression of your ad through their feed, they've seen it 2.16 times, meaning that they've seen it over 2 times. 2 years ago, I was saying at 3, you want to cut off this ad and change something, either change the images or change the text or do something to change up the ad, even if it's doing well. But now it's at about 2. So now our cutoff rate is 2. Once people have seen your ad twice go through the feed, we need to re-engage them with some new content. So that's what frequency is all about. Okay. Cost per click, I wouldn't worry too much. Frequency is really important. This is when we know it's time to change up an ad. Okay. Hopefully that answers some questions. Is there any questions? No, good. So that's frequency 2. Once we get to 2, that's what we want to do there. I wanted to show you guys that. That's it. That is the ads manager. Otherwise, this gets confusing and convoluted and all that other good stuff. So that's ads. Now, what about Google? What do we do about Google ads? What do we talk about there? Same premise with Google ads. We want to be trying to get people, if we still use the same metrics of CVA, $1,500, we want to be trying to get people as a new patient for up to $150 per new patient. So we always say, like, if we were hosting an event, like a dinner, let's say we want to invite people to a dinner, how much are you willing to pay? So here's a great one. Here's a great example of what works every single time. A community dinner or a celebration dinner for your patients, celebrating their care. Maybe they're great wellness patients. Maybe they're just your ideal patient. They came in, they did the program, they raved about you, left a Google review, referred 2 people, and now want their family to start care. I mean, that's probably your ideal client, isn't it? Those people, you think of 1, 2, 3 of them, and you put together a dinner at a great restaurant. Don't go pick the sloppy pizza place down by your place. Pick the place in town. Here in Tampa, it's probably like Burns, Grillsmith, Stonewater, like something where people want to be at, right? A restaurant that's popular and be there. And then what you do is, in your head, it's $150. I can spend up to $150 to get new patients in here. So I pick Mary and I pick Joe, my 2 favorite clients. And I talk to Mary first. I'm like, Mary, we're going to host the celebration dinner to celebrate your progress and everything. And we do this once or twice a year. And it's coming up. We're going to do this. I want you to pick the date. And I want you to invite as many people as you want to this dinner. Don't be shy. I'm paying for it all. I dare you to try and make us go bankrupt. You literally leave the door wide open. Why? People have a hard time trying to get two people to invite. So by opening this up, you're like, wow, okay, great. Now they have no pressure about how many they do get yeses to. So there's no worry about the limit. But now they'll try and hit the groundwork to try and invite and tell them, listen, we're celebrating you. It's going to be you, maybe another patient, and then your guests are going to be there. And all we ask is that when we sit down and we eat, I'm not going to do much. Just stand up and tell them about your experience at our office, and we'll enjoy a great dinner. And then the other patient will do the same. And that's all you're going to experience. We're just going to sit down and eat. There's really nothing else to it. I got no timeshares to sell or anything like that. But the goal is let me know what day it is. Then when Mary comes in for her next appointment, she's like, great, you know what? I did think about that, Dr. D. I'm off the week of, February 2nd. What day they didn't want to pick everything. They're like, I'm free, Wednesday and Thursday night. I'm like, I think Thursday night would be a great night. You want to lock that in February 5th? They're like, yeah, well, great. We're going to lock in February 5th. And that's going to be the night for the dinner. We're doing it at Stonewater. It's like, wow, great. Perfect. You got to do the work. Tell me how many people by January 30th, how many people are coming to this dinner, and let me know. And that's it. And then already I know I'm going to pick Joe. So next time Joe comes, I'm like, Joe, we're doing a community dinner on February 5th. I want to invite you to this. It's going to celebrate you and your progress. But here's your deal is, can you make it? Like, yeah, I should be free Thursday night. I can make it. What time? 7. Great. 7. Can you invite people to this? Your goal is to invite as many people to this that want to sit in a room with a chiropractor. Be honest with your chiropractor. I'm going to be there. I'm going to eat with you guys, but that's it. I'm just paying the tab. You can invite as many people as you want. I just need to know by January 30th how big this is going to be so I can tell the restaurant. Deal? And that's it. And we're on them. Our CAs are then on them every week. Joe, how many people you got now? They're like 3. Okay. Joe, how many you got this week? 4 total. How many? 4. And then they're like, Joe, 4? That's it. You only know 4 people? Come on, man. That's too cheap. And then they're like, we got 8. Great. 8. And then Mary's got 8. You got 16 people. Now in your head, minus the 2, how much are you willing to spend to get a new patient? Now, folks, $150 per plate is probably the best place in town. You're not, I mean, I don't know anyone that charges $150 per plate. I mean, the best steak, the best seafood in town with wine, probably not going to hit $150 per plate. So you are more than happy to spend whatever, 20, so $3,000 on a dinner. Max, it's not going to be. It's going to be like 1,700. But in your head, because now you've got home runs in the room. Everyone they invite is a home run. Set limits to this. If you invite family people or anything like that, you just set limits. Say, hey, we're going to a nice steak dinner. Get a babysitter. Don't bring your kids. Just because we're going to make this formal, and they don't want to. That's not offensive. That's such a great one. We're bringing back a few of those for 2024. But that's a home run. And I'm giving you that example because if you know the limit of what it costs for a new patient, then you can do something like a dinner, or you can spend the money on online advertising to try and get as many people through the door as possible, up to $150. Make sense? And we got that $150 by dividing our total gross revenue by our total patients that showed up, total new patients that showed up that year. The more data you have, the better. I keep circulating data from day one since I opened 5.5 years ago. So I circulate that data, which we want to see numbers getting better. We want to see PVA improving, patient visit average improving. We want to see cost per acquisition decreasing. We want to see case value average increasing as time goes on, right? With inflation, yada, yada, yada. We want to see 3%, 5% growth every year on those things as well. It helps you determine whether you raise your fees, whether you hire new staff. I mean, this stuff is so important when it comes to numbers. But any question, I'm just checking all the platforms because sometimes I miss questions. It drives me nuts when I miss questions. Good. We're good here. YouTube. YouTube Live. That looks good too. Okay, we're good. Any more questions about anything? Anything? Oh, practice management. Dr. Sam asked, do you charge a no-show fee for patients who don't show. In my practice, we typically see people for less than 10 minutes. I'm just being completely transparent here. The average appointment is less than 10 minutes. So we don't have a no-show fee because we want it to be very simple for patients. They get a text reminder before their appointment. They get a text reminder 15 minutes after their appointment if they didn't check in. It's all automatic through Sched, TrackStat, whatever, Review Wave, all these things that you use, and some EHRs do this for you. Highly recommend one of them. Sched or TrackStat are probably your two best ones. And then, so we do everything we can there. We make it pretty easy, and our CAs will eventually call them as well. Maybe it might not be at the 15-minute mark, but 20 minutes later or half an hour later, they'll call them. Hey, Judy, is everything okay? Just checking in on you. Yeah, everything's okay. I'm so sorry I missed my appointment. They're like, no problem. Do you want to do same time tomorrow? We get them, and we get them back in. So there's nothing but for some of you that have like long appointments, you spend half an hour with a patient. I mean, for whatever reason it is, maybe you have combined modalities, whatever it is that you do, CBP, correctionals type stuff, and our long appointments too, massage, acupuncture, we absolutely have a no-show fee. And we set it as a, whatever, it could be 100% of the fee, depending on what you're doing. Let's say you're a Graston practitioner doing Graston for half an hour appointments, and your fee's $150 and they miss it. What are you going to charge them for that? You could have made $150. Sometimes it could be 100% of the appointment. Our massage therapist did half. They did $40 or $50 for a $100 massage. They did a $50 cancellation fee for that. And that pretty much covered their fee because they were 1099 contractors. So it was like our policy as an office to do that for them so that if somebody did miss an appointment, they had a $50, they still got paid their $50 as a 1099 because it sucks when you show up and no one's there. For us as the clinic, we didn't care. We didn't lose anything. And it keeps our massage therapist happy. Anything else, folks? This is it for 2023, the last adjusting success. We will be back January. What day is that? January 9th? We will be back January 8th. Monday, January 8th for you. I want to wish you guys all a fantastic Christmas, a happy new year. You are all doing great. 2023 was I don't know. I don't have a word for 2023. 2023 was just it was hard. It was hard. It was mud. It was thick. It was a thick year. It took a lot of effort to do the same things we were doing in 2021, in 2019. It was just a thick year. Very different than 2022. 2020 was just like everyone was in the storm together. It was kind of weird. And we all came out. It was just 2023 was just a thick business year as far as economic pressure. Let's just be honest, but that's okay. 2024 doesn't look any better in Q1. So, but could turn around for the positive by the summer, which is absolutely fantastic with interest rates dropping and a little bit of a buzz going again. So you may see some natural improvement, but don't forget that when the economy helps push us, that we can get lazy in the things that we do because the phone's ringing, and then we start to panic when the phone stops ringing. It's the constant jive that keeps a business going, and that's what your job as a CEO is to stay on that jive. So all the best in 2024. Take the pedal off the metal. For a little bit here for the holidays. Enjoy your family, get some R&R, and just enjoy it. You all deserve it. So have a great holiday season. Catch you again on Adjusting Success in the new year. In the meantime, we're still doing our podcasts every Friday. We're still doing everything else. And I'm still here for you in the digital age. So easy to get in contact with me. Take care and all the best.